Okay. This will be an interesting one. Okay. Maybe that contrast. No, we're going to leave it. Intuition's telling me to. Okay. Let's see what we have. We have here SUP yoga, kayak yoga, beach yoga. Bit faddish, bit silly. We're just photocopying this picture of someone doing the yoga. I don't like yoga, folks. I don't like it. I fucking hate it. Don't know why people bother. It just mushes up it just appears to mush people's brains up. Just the word yoga just sounds soft and fucked. Just the name, just the word yoga, it sounds shit. It sounds like something that's soft and mushy and your brain becomes fucking mush. I know a lot of people seem to think that it helps with stress and shit like that, but I'm a bit skeptical of this. I'm a bit skeptical of what people think. That looks good on the bottom. I like the look of that. Wondering if we're going to work with that or we're going to do another one. But basically, yeah, I just don't have any faith in stuff like yoga to make me feel better. I've got to deal with my own stress in my own way. I don't need some fuck up activity to I just have to deal with the problem. I have to believe in a highest power. I just can't believe in just something like yoga to help deal with stress. I just don't feel it would work. Now that looks interesting. I think we could use that. But I just don't have any, I just can't trust that it's any good, this yoga. Yoga just doesn't come across as something that a person like me finds any use for. And you know, you got to pay money for classes and shit. I don't have that sort of money. I'm not rich. I don't belong to the upper or middle class who can typically afford this shit. It just doesn't appeal to me. But that's just my opinion, folks. You don't have to take on what I think and don't think. You don't have to, you don't, just because you're watching my videos doesn't mean you have to agree with what I have to say, folks. You don't. You just be yourselves. If you like yoga, well, so what? You do. That's it. Keep doing it. It's not for me to tell you to stop. As I said, I don't think it's healthy in that it causes your brain to be mushy. Well, that's how I notice, how I feel. But basically, yeah, you just be yourself, find out for yourself if what I say is true. Find out. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to take my advice. I'm not fucking God or king or queen or some person in authority. I'm just a person with an opinion, and if you don't like my opinion, well, that's it. You just don't like it. You don't have to take on what I believe and you just don't have to. You just have to, in my opinion, it's just important just to be yourself. It's important just to be yourself in life, not just worry about what other people think. You don't have to worry about what other people think, because people are just so fucked anyway. You just have to follow your heart, follow your dreams, Try to make sure that your dreams line up with helping humanity and helping the environment, because these are things that we must have to live, so that the human race can live. Now that's too far out. We were trying to get her just there. But basically, we have to somehow find a way to solve issues with this world, you know, and if you're going to make a lot of money, why not make something good of it instead of being a rich bitch or bastard who just cares about themselves and their fucking profits. You got to make sure that what you create financially isn't going to impact on the planet or the human race. So, you know, you got to basically be humane, you know, be a good steward of this planet and be a good steward of your workforce. Don't treat them like slaves, like companies that build electronics typically do. You know, don't do that, folks. If you want to be rich, you know, you got to basically, it carries with it responsibility. And a lot of people who are rich don't carry the responsibility. They just want to make money and that's it. Fuck everything and everyone else. We're going to make this larger as well. So, yeah, it's like the rich just don't care anymore about trying to help other people. They just help themselves and fuck up the planet in the process, as well as creating slaves in factories, especially in China and other third world nations. You know, they don't care, and they take jobs away from their home countries. Now this is not working. I got mixed up with this. Shit. I meant to. I'm going to do this. I guess we're going to move it up. But basically, yeah, you just have to try to help the human race, not try to suppress it or to destroy it. You know, to be rich is a privilege, folks. It's not a right. It's a privilege, and therefore it should be treated with as such. That people should give to the poor and the less fortunate, and that'll make. You know, you've got to basically do that, folks. You know, we can't just live trying to please ourselves and that's it. We've got to fucking make a difference to the way things are. We don't want to fucking ruin our other people's lives just because we want to make a selfish little profit. That's just so wrong, folks. But what can we do to stop these rich people from losing control and fucking everything over? That's the problem. They just don't seem to have any scruples. They can create bribes. They can bribe people, and you know these bribes can make them just do what they want without any consideration for anyone else. So yeah, that looks a lot better. I think that's how we pretty well wanted it. We're going to add a little bit of extra horizontal enlargement, but basically, yeah, we just haven't got. Just too many rich people want things always their own way and no other way. And companies like this, Konica Minolta, they don't make anything new or exciting except to change things around, tinker around the edges, so to speak. And they just make things, that user interface is a load of shit compared with the old machine I had, the old C353. Now, for some reason, yeah, that's the hand getting closer to the edge, or is it? I just didn't do something right. I know what I did wrong. I enlarged on the wrong axes. I was meant to enlarge on the horizontal at 150, 130 for the vertical, and for the horizontal, it was meant to be 150. Sorry, folks, it's easy to make mistakes when you're trying to work on this. But yeah, you just have to consider the human race. It's not just about you, the person in your life. You got to bloody well be a person who wants to help solve problems, not to be a part of the problem, but to be the solution to the problem. You'll get more reward if you try to be the solution, not the problem. And I'm pretty sure these rich fools who fuck things up basically are empty. Now I'm wondering what we're going to do. I seem to be feeling like I'm being pulled towards pulling this off, but I don't know. Fuck, it's hard to know what intuition is going to do. But basically, fuck, I hate this. I hate it when I have to change positioning. I mean, look, it's good enough. I don't know what I'm doing, folks. Why I feel I have to push this even higher up. But basically, yeah, we have to stop being so greedy and so much an asshole in this world. We've got to fucking find solutions to problems like climate change, which is a huge problem that these rich people in power, including Konica Minolta, doesn't want to fix. They don't care. They don't have any fucking cares in the world because they got the money and the power. Now we've just pushed this too high. We're going to enlarge it off a bit. But basically, these rich fools just don't have any idea, and they don't care. They don't fucking care. And they just want to ruin it for everyone else because they can make the money. And it's just not fair. When I become a CEO of a future photocopier company, I'll be building photocopiers that are both sustainable and humane. That'll be using humane ways instead of using slave labour like what I don't know for sure, I can't confirm it, but I suspect Konica Minolta uses slave labour in countries like China and Vietnam, which is parts of this photocopy. I think most of it was made in China and a part of it was made in Vietnam and another piece was made in Japan. But basically, they don't care about the people. It's all capitalism, and people, it's funny how rich people are ready to defend capitalism, saying, oh, it's been good to me. It's like, fuck that. It's not being good to the rest of the planet. So fuck off, capitalist piggies. Go take your capitalism and stick it up your fucking ass. Or in a more polite term, where the sun don't shine. So yeah, I'm just so over this fucked up system that we have. And capitalism can't work. We can't tweak something that's a load of shit. You can't turn shit into a fucking birthday cake. Because sooner or later the smell's going to come out. And when you eat it, you know it's a fucking shit, not a fucking birthday cake. So stop pretending it's a birthday cake. We need socialism of some descript. We need a form of refined socialism. We need socialism that is good for the human race, good for everyone. Fair and equitable. Not communism. Don't get me confused with communism. I'm not interested in communism. Socialism is what we need. We need a special socialism that's going to be all-inclusive as much as we can. The best outcome for everyone as much as possible. It's not going to be perfect, folks. We can't create utopia on this earth, but we can surely make the earth a better place for a lot more people than what we have now. So let's see how this piece of yoga shit looks. Anyway, that's come up looking a treat. I think it was all worth the fiddling. I think now we can call this demo quits.